I watched my wife pack her yoga mat and essential oils, telling me she needed a week at a wellness retreat to find herself, but when I checked our shared location app, it showed she was at the county jail. Sarah had been acting strange for months. Late nights at book club. Whispered phone calls she'd end the moment I walked in. Distance that felt like an ocean between us in our own bed. When she announced this sudden need for a spiritual cleansing retreat in the mountains, something in my gut twisted. But I wanted to trust her. We'd been married 8 years. We had plans. A future. The retreat doesn't allow phones, she said, kissing my cheek with lips that felt cold. Complete digital detox. I'll be unreachable for a week. I nodded and smiled like the supportive wife I thought I was being. Whatever you need, babe. But here's the thing about being married to someone for nearly a decade, you know their patterns. Sarah always forgot to turn off location sharing. Always. It drove her crazy when I'd text asking if she made it to work safely because I could see she was still in the parking lot 20 minutes later. So Tuesday night, missing her already, I opened the app just to see how far into the mountains she'd driven. Maybe I could surprise her with flowers when she got back. The little blue dot wasn't in the mountains. It was pulsing steadily at the Riverside County Correctional Facility. My hand started shaking. I refreshed the app. Same location. I called her phone, straight to voicemail. Called again. Nothing. My mind raced through possibilities. Maybe she'd stopped to help someone. Maybe there was an accident. Maybe the GPS was wrong. But the dot stayed put for hours. All night. Into the next morning. I couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. By Thursday, I was a wreck. I called the retreat center she'd mentioned, Serenity Springs. They'd never heard of Sarah Martinez. No booking. No record. That's when the pieces started falling into place. Those late nights. The secret of phone calls. The way she'd been pulling away from me physically. The credit card statements I'd stopped checking because I trusted her. I went through our bank records with forensic precision. Cash withdrawals I didn't remember. Payments to lawyers I'd never heard of. My wife wasn't having an affair. She was living a completely separate life. I drove to the jail on Friday morning. Visiting hours. My legs felt like jelly walking through those doors, but I had to know. I had to see her face when she realized I'd found out. The look of pure terror when she saw me sitting across from that scratched plexiglass window will haunt me forever. How long? I asked through the phone. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish. Jess, I can explain. How long? 3 months. Her voice barely a whisper. Fraud charges. I borrowed money from clients' accounts at work. Just temporarily. I was going to pay it back. $75,000. That's what she'd stolen from the accounting firm where she'd worked for 6 years. Elderly clients who trusted her with their retirement funds. She'd been using our joint account to try to cover it up, taking cash advances on credit cards I didn't know existed. I was trying to protect you, she said, tears streaming down her face. I didn't want you to know. I thought I could fix it before. Before you got arrested? Before you destroyed our lives? Before you lied to my face about a wellness retreat while you were sitting in jail? She flinched like I'd slapped her. I sat there looking at this woman I'd shared a bed with, made plans with, dreamed of growing old with. This stranger who'd been methodically destroying everything we'd built while I packed her lunch every morning and asked about her day every night. The house is in both our names, she said quietly. The lawyer says they might try to take it. Our house. The one we'd painted together room by room. Where we'd hosted Christmas dinner for our families. Where I'd imagined our kids playing in the backyard someday. That's when something inside me snapped. I didn't visit her again. Instead, I called a lawyer. Not a criminal defense attorney, a divorce attorney. The best one in town. While Sarah was sitting in jail thinking I'd wait for her, Thinking I'd help her piece our life back together when she got out, I was dismantling everything. I documented every forged signature on loan applications. Every lie about overtime to explain the late nights. Every penny she'd stolen and every debt she'd hidden. I gathered evidence of financial fraud within our marriage that her criminal lawyer didn't even know about yet. Then I did something Sarah never expected from sweet, trusting Jess. I filed for divorce citing financial abandonment and fraud. I petitioned the court to hold her responsible for all hidden debts. I provided evidence to the DA's office showing additional crimes that extended her sentence by 2 years. But here's the beautiful part, the part that still makes me smile. Remember those client accounts she stole from? Turns out one of them was Margaret Chen, an 84-year-old retired teacher whose grandson happens to be an investigative journalist. When he found out what happened to his grandmother's savings, he didn't just write a story. He wrote a series. 6 articles detailing exactly how Sarah had gained these elderly clients' trust, how she'd manipulated them, how she'd spent their money on designer handbags and weekend trips I'd thought were work conferences. The articles went viral. Sarah's mugshot was everywhere. Her crime became a cautionary tale about elder abuse that legal websites still reference. She lost her CPA license. Permanently. She'll never work in finance again. When she finally got out after 18 months, I was long gone. Moved across the country with our divorce finalized, our assets divided, and her debt legally established as hers alone. I'd kept the house. Turns out financial fraud during marriage gives judges strong feelings about asset division. She tried to contact me once. A long email about how prison changed her, how she found God, how she wanted to make amends. I deleted it without finishing. The woman I married died the day she decided that lying to me was easier than trusting me with the truth. The woman who came out of prison was a stranger who destroyed lives for designer handbags. I learned something important about myself through all this. I'm not the naive pushover I thought I was. When someone I love betrays me, when they try to destroy everything I've worked for, I don't just survive. I make sure they face every consequence of their choices. Every single one. Sometimes the people closest to us are living completely different lives than we imagine. Sometimes the person sleeping next to you is a criminal. And sometimes, when you discover that truth, the best revenge isn't getting angry. It's getting everything. Have you experienced something like this? Tell me in the comments.